This is the story of a 17-year-old girl named Naka Fujiwara. She is the future heir to a massive fortune passed down from her wealthy grandfather. He feels nervous because she will only receive the money when she turns 18. Until then, he fears that dangerous people might try to harm her and steal her inheritance. Because of this danger, the grandfather sends 2 special maids to guard Naka and her overweight little brother, Kusuke. One maid is a 19-year-old woman with strong fighting skills. She moves with grace but stays ready for battle. The other is very different. He is a huge man with muscles, a scary look, and sharp eyes. He stays hidden behind a maid mask and wears a maid outfit like the others. Naka does not like the idea of having a scary maid. She feels embarrassed and confused, but she understands that being the heir to a rich old man's money brings danger. Some people may try to kill her, and now her normal school life is gone. The story begins with Naka practicing Kendo at her school, and her friends cheering for her with loud voices. She moves quickly and wins the match. Everyone claps and shouts with joy. On the school rooftop, a strange man wearing a maid outfit is watching everything. His name is Kogarashi, but people call him Maid Guy. He looks scary and grins with sharp teeth and glowing eyes. His laughter sounds like a monster. Naka feels like someone is watching her. She looks around but finds no one. A teammate hands her a drink. Before she can touch it, a knife suddenly hits the drink. Kogarashi, still watching from the roof, believed the drink might have been poisoned. People around Naka become afraid. Some officials arrive to check the noise, but they are quickly hit by darts and fall down. A second maid appears beside Kogarashi. She is Fubuki. She tells Kogarashi that assassins may be hiding somewhere and adds that Naka will turn 18 in 6 months. Later, in the shower, Naka feels annoyed. She thinks her opponent was too weak. She believes that the other Kendo teams are not much better. At the same time, Kogarashi sneaks into the locker room. He opens her bag and puts a bro inside. He thinks of it as a gift. After finishing her shower, Naka returns to the changing room. She is shocked to see her locker door hanging open. She feels a moment of fear. She thinks a thief may have taken something. But then her eyes fall on the inside of her bag. Instead of missing items, she finds 2 bras instead of 1. Just then, a person steps into the room and tells her that she must go to the office. In the office, an old man is sitting at a desk. He is holding a maid figure in his hands and studies the tiny details. He talks to himself about the design. He also says that Kusuke has always loved maids very much. Naka steps in and sees both her grandfather and younger brother waiting. Her face grows serious. She feels upset that Kusuke skipped school, but her grandfather explains that this was his own idea. He even closed the school for the day. He starts to speak proudly about his rich lifestyle. He seems happy with all the power he has. Naka looks away and says that she wants a normal life. Her grandfather hears this and asks her why she would want something so boring. Then he decides that they must go to her house right away. Naka tries to stop him, but he keeps walking. They arrive at the house. The front door opens to reveal a terrible mess. Trash covers the floor and the air feels heavy with dust. Her grandfather stands still for a moment, then turns to her with concern. He tells her that this is not an acceptable way for a family member to live. He then says he recently watched a television program about homes filled with garbage. He adds that this house looks exactly like the one on the screen. Naka tries to speak in her defense, but her grandfather refuses to listen. He says that they must change their lifestyle. He calls for someone, and the maid from earlier steps out from inside the house. She introduces herself as their new housemaid. Both Naka and Kusuke freeze in shock. Their mouths stay open as they look around and realize that the house is now completely clean. The smell of garbage is gone, and everything shines. Grandfather turns to Kusuke with a smile. He says he picked a maid that matches his grandson's taste. Kusuke's eyes light up, and he runs into his grandfather's arms to thank him with excitement. Naka does not share that joy. She crosses her arms and tells her grandfather that this is unnecessary. She warns that it might even harm Kusuke. Her grandfather hears this and decides that perhaps Fubuki is not the right match for Naka. Then he calls for someone else. From behind the house, the muscular man in the maid outfit appears. He walks in with confidence. Naka's face turns pale. She steps back in horror. The man introduces himself as Kogarashi. He says that he will now be her maid. Naka quickly loses her temper. She throws a series of strong kicks at him. Her voice rises as she turns to her grandfather, demanding to know who this man really is. Her grandfather calmly explains that he chose a maid who fits Naka's taste. Kogarashi agrees and says that he will serve her every day. Naka does not accept this. Kogarashi suddenly slices open the front of her shirt. He stares at her bra and says it is not clean. He adds that she should have worn the one he gave her. Then he makes a strange comment, saying she seems to like the smell of sweat. Naka cannot take it anymore. Her face burns with anger. She forces everyone out of the house. Kusuke feels sad that they had to leave. He turns to Naka and says that they now must manage life on their own while waiting for their parents to return. Naka nods slowly, still feeling overwhelmed. Kasuke then adds that this clean home feels like how they should be living. He says they never had any real skills in cleaning anyway. Naka hears this and feels shocked. She takes a step back and bumps into a sliding door. The door suddenly bursts open, and a mountain of hidden garbage spills out into the room. Fubuki speaks with the grandfather. She asks if there has been any progress in finding Naka's parents. His face becomes heavy with sadness. He says that they have found parts of the airplane, but the exact location of the parents is still unknown. He believes that something more serious may be behind the crash. Fubuki listens carefully and then points out that only Naka and Kasuke remain as possible heirs to the family fortune. All others have vanished without a trace. She reminds him that Naka will turn 18 very soon. The grandfather nods and says that he does not want to frighten them. He gives a strict order to both maids, telling them to protect the two siblings no matter what. In another room, Kasuke suddenly cries out for help. His voice sounds desperate. Kogarashi hears him and laughs. He says that Naka is truly a difficult master to deal with. Morning arrives, but Nika remains asleep. Alarms ring loudly around her, but she does not wake up. Kogarashi walks in with no warning. He places a cold shower head down her juicy melons and turns it on. The blast of cold water shocks her awake. In the bathroom, Naka grumbles about Kogarashi's actions. She stands under the running water with an annoyed look. Kogarashi appears again, just like she expected. His voice sounds casual. He says that she should always prepare a change of clothes. He stands behind the glass and watches her. His eyes do not look away. Naka screams, feeling embarrassed and angry. Later, while changing, she notices something strange. Her skirt feels tighter than usual. She thinks about skipping breakfast. Kogarashi interrupts and tells her that she should not feel upset about gaining weight. Naka's mouth drops open in shock. She wonders how he could know such a thing. He calmly explains that it is normal for a maid to know everything about the master's body. Then he begins to speak in detail about her body's measurements. His voice sounds like he is reciting a report. Naka cannot take it anymore. Her face turns red and she runs away in panic. Fubuki watches this from a distance. Her face stays calm. She says that she needs to speak with Kogarashi. Naka sits alone later and thinks about her current life. She tells herself that she does not want to give up her innocence for a life of rich comfort. She curses her grandfather for putting her through this. Just then, her grandfather appears at the door. Kasuke walks over and explains the situation to him. Hearing the story, the old man becomes shocked. He says that he cannot accept his granddaughter being treated this way. Back at the house, the door opens again. This time, Kogarashi lies on the floor in a pool of blood. It seems she has punished him for stepping out of line. The family holds a meeting about Kogarashi. He sits in front of them with a puzzled look. He does not understand what he has done wrong. He turns to Kasuke and demands an explanation. Kasuke says that the problem is Kogarashi's attitude. He explains that Kogarashi treats Nika without thinking of her as a girl. Kogarashi still looks confused. He suddenly believes that the issue comes from not giving Naka enough sexy underwear. He starts shouting and even blames Nika for wearing such plain clothes. Naka becomes furious and kicks him hard. She says that she would have thrown him out of the house long ago if her grandfather had not stopped her. Kogarashi lowers his head and sinks into sadness. He gets quiet and enters a deep depression. In the eyes of the others, Naka now looks like the villain. Later in her room, Naka speaks to Kasuke. Her voice is soft. She says that she feels bad for making their grandfather upset. Then she tries to change her thinking. She tells herself that this strange situation is just another kind of training. She says she has to stay strong. In another part of the house, Fubuki stands with the grandfather. She tells him that Kogarashi is truly necessary for their protection. But she also says that Naka is getting stressed. The grandfather listens and agrees. His face shows concern. He says that he understands the problem, but he has no other option. Then he asks Fubuki to keep Kogarashi under control. That evening, Kogarashi prepares dinner in the kitchen. The sound of cooking fills the house. Naka tries to sneak away, hoping to avoid the meal, but Kogarashi catches her before she can leave. He tells her that eating well is important for her growth. She throws a slipper at his head, but it does nothing. He stands without even blinking. Outside the house, Fubuki leads Naka away. She tells her that soft attacks like slippers will never work. She explains that Kogarashi is not an ordinary person. She uses the word beast. Then she gives Naka a small silver whistle. She says that this whistle will control him like a whip. Fubuki plays the whistle and Kogarashi reacts at once. His body bends in pain. His face twists. She tells Naka that using the whistle too much will break him completely. That is not something Naka wants. Suddenly, Kogarashi loses balance, spills on him. Hot food steam rises from his skin. He becomes angry. He stands up and tells them that he will never forgive what they have done. Naka wakes up suddenly. She just saw a terrifying dream where her house was on fire and Kogarashi walked through the flames with anger in his eyes. She sits up and looks toward her drawer. Inside lies the small whistle. It is the only thing that can control Kogarashi's strength. She stares at it, thinking deeply. She wonders if she should really use it again. Kogarashi bursts into the room without warning. Naka panics and slams the drawer shut quickly. Her hands shake. After a moment, she notices a strange sound. She opens the drawer and realizes that the whistle is broken. At school, Naka takes part in a competition about test results. The students line up to reveal their scores. Nika looks down in disbelief. Her score is the lowest among her two friends, maybe even the whole class. Her eyes grow wide. She studied hard with her friends this time. She expected better. One of the girls tries to comfort her. She says that a professor once found that larger breast size can reduce academic focus. The words sound silly, but they get attention. The group quickly finds out that the measurements of Naka are a massive 88. The boys begin to whisper to each other, full of wild ideas. Some of the girls stare with jealousy. At the same time, a student walks alone to the school rooftop. He talks to himself about the poor performance of Nika. The voice sounds strange. It turns out to be Kogarashi. He speaks with confidence and says that Naka should leave everything to him. Later in the Kendo dojo, the club leader speaks with Naka. She says that if Nika fails her finals, she will be removed from the club. Naka kneels and begs, but the leader stays firm. Naka starts to cry. She says that without practice, she will become fat. The other girls grow angry. They shout at her. They feel betrayed. To them, it now seems that Naka never truly cared about the club. The leader warns her. She says that Naka must not fail the upcoming exams. Missing the next match would be unforgivable. Their conversation ends quickly when three boys walk into the dojo. They call themselves the Naka's Juicy Melons fan club. They offer to buy her for a large sum of money. The girls around her suddenly turn quiet. Then they begin to discuss the offer. In that moment, Naka learns something painful. None of her clubmates are truly loyal. They seem ready to sell her without a second thought. At home, Naka is in her room with panic in her eyes. Her head spins as she thinks about the upcoming retest. She tells Fubuki that she must score at least 60. If not, she will be banned from Kendo and gain weight from lack of practice. Fubuki watches her silently, clearly worried. Kazuki enters and says that she only has herself to blame. Naka begins to beg Fubuki for help, but her eyes soon drift downward, and she suddenly notices how large Fubuki's melons are. Tears roll down her face. She throws a weak punch at the juicy melons of Fubuki, letting out all her frustration. Kogarashi walks into the room. He says that he has a plan to help. He pulls out a pot and starts brewing something strange in front of them. He tells them that it is an energy drink with great power. Naka refuses to drink it. Kogarashi grows more forceful. Kasuke, curious and unafraid, takes a sip, and his body enlarges in an instant. Everyone stares. The drink was clearly toxic. Kogarashi sighs and gives up on shortcuts. He decides to help with the traditional way, by teaching Naka everything she needs to know. Naka laughs and makes fun of him. She doubts that he can teach her anything useful. Fubuki then drops a surprising fact. She says that Kogarashi is actually a graduate from MIT. She becomes serious and starts explaining what kind of school it is. The lesson goes on for too long. She cannot believe what she has heard. Kogarashi quickly calls Fubuki an idiot and kicks her out of the room. Then the real trouble begins. Naka makes a mistake on a simple problem. Kogarashi scolds her. Naka tries to fight back by explaining some random historical facts. Kogarashi shakes his head. He says none of it matters in a math test. She argues again, but this only earns her a slap to the forehead. Kogarashi tells her that she must memorize everything in her notebook. Naka lowers her head and admits that she never takes notes. Kogarashi then looks around. He grabs Kazuke's printer and asks for a USB cable. He inserts one end into his ear. Kazuke watches with shock. No computer is used. Kogarashi says that the brain works with electrical signals too, and that is enough to make it work. Naka begins to study again, but her eyes soon close. She falls asleep almost instantly. Kazuke says this is her body's natural defense system. Then he gets an idea. He looks at the cable and smiles. Suddenly a loud scream comes from the room. Naka rolls on the floor, her body shaking. Kogarashi has tried to upload knowledge from his brain to hers. Fubuki rushes in and pulls Naka away. When Nika wakes up, morning sunlight fills the room. Time has run out. Fubuki has no choice left. She wraps bandages around her melons. She explains that reducing the weight might help with mental focus. Naka starts to feel more alert. But soon the bandages cannot hold the pressure. Her juicy melons bursts through them. Kogarashi steps in with a new solution. He brings out a steel chest plate. At school, Nika sits at her desk. She feels confident. Her brain feels clear. But then she hears a strange sound, a slow, deep creak. The metal begins to bend. Then it snaps. The steel chest plate explodes and tears through the classroom. Kogarashi laughs in the distance, but he is quickly knocked out by a flying object. In the end, everything falls apart. Naka is sold off to the Juicy Melons fan club. Naka stands boldly in front of the boys' club and challenges them to a duel. They accept without hesitation. But their condition is shameful. They say that if they win, they want full freedom to touch her juicy melons. She receives special permission to use a real katana. The battle starts. She is fast and sharp. The boys fall one by one. None are able to defend themselves. The match ends quickly. From above, Kogarashi watches with joy. His face glows with pride. Suddenly, his senses activate. A new presence is near. Someone is staring at Naka with strong desire. Later, after school ends, Naka walks to her shoe locker. Her hand trembles as she pulls out a folded note. It is a love letter. Her eyes widen. She closes the locker door 3 times in disbelief. She looks around, then tries to hide the letter behind her back. Her friends approach. She speaks quickly and tries to distract them. But one friend catches a glimpse of the paper. She tells Naka that she expects full details later that evening. Back at home, Naka locks herself in her room. She takes out the letter and holds it gently. Her thoughts drift to the past. A promise she made to never fall in love again still echoes in her heart. She raises the letter toward the trash can. She shakes and tries to let it go, but her feelings stop her. She brings it back toward her juicy melons. Suddenly, Kogarashi appears from the shadows. His sudden presence startles her. Naka screams and runs into the wall. Fubuki and Kasuke hear the noise and rush in. Kogarashi calmly explains what happened. Later, after placing Naka on her bed, Fubuki speaks quietly. She says it is normal for a girl her age to receive a love letter. Kogarashi becomes curious and says that he wants to examine the letter. Fubuki blocks him. She says no. Kogarashi ignores her words. His glowing eyes activate, scanning the paper from a distance. He announces that the note tells him to meet someone at the gym the next day. Fubuki responds by stabbing him. Kasuke begins to explain. He says Naka once had a chance to love, but something happened. A memory appears from the past. Naka stands in front of an older boy, offering him a lunchbox. He accepts and asks her to eat together. She shines with joy. They sit on a bench. The boy eats a piece of fried shrimp. After one bite, he chokes and almost collapses. Back in the present, Kasuke explains that after that moment, Naka locked away her feelings. Naka wakes again. The same nightmare returns. Her phone buzzes beside her. She answers it. It is the friend from earlier asking about the love letter. Naka responds with little emotion. She says she never read it, then ends the call. Kogarashi stands nearby and holds out the letter. Naka looks at him and says she does not need it. Kogarashi moves quickly and tries to destroy a letter, but Naka stops him. This small action makes him believe that her feelings for the sender are still alive. She tries to deny it, but her room tells a different story. Under her bed, Kogarashi finds a large pile of romance comics and magazines. The truth is now clear. Tears come to Naka's eyes. Her pain calls Fubuki into the room, and she stabs Kogarashi without waiting. He stays calm and says that his job is to protect the family line. His words suggest that every action he takes is for Naka's good. Kasuke speaks up and shares his own pain, saying that only someone who has played many sad romance games can truly understand. Kogarashi listens but shows no respect. He calls both of them pitiful dogs. Still, he says he has a way to help. He reminds them that he is the Maid Guai. A strange drink appears again. Naka drinks it without thinking. A soft explosion follows, and something inside her changes. The cold and angry side of her fades away. Her body moves on its own, full of affection, but not toward a boy. Her eyes find Fubuki, and her emotions pour out. She jumps on her maid, showing too much love in a way that makes Fubuki uncomfortable. Fubuki calls for help. Koga leaves the room, saying the effect will end in 1 hour. Later that day, the grandfather comes home. Everything around him looks broken. In the middle of the chaos, Fuki begins to teach Naka how to cook. Naka feels unsure because she believes she always ruins food. People once called her the poison woman. Fubuki stays calm and gives her support. The lesson turns into a disaster. The kitchen fills with black smoke and loud noise shakes happens. But something strange happens. The food looks normal. Kasuke eats it with fear, but nothing bad happens. He stays alive. This small success makes Naka happy. That night, she starts to believe in love again. Her heart opens just a little. She reads the love letter once more. The words touch her deeply. The final message invites her to meet the sender the next day. Joy fills her heart, and she screams with excitement. The following day, Naka continues to dream about the handsome boy who wants to meet her. She imagines every detail clearly and becomes lost in these thoughts. Her teacher sees this and quickly wakes her from the daydream. Later, during lunchtime, Naka still thinks deeply about her special meeting. Her friends gently remind her that she does not even know the person yet, pulling her back into reality. But Naka cannot let go of this hope. She becomes obsessed with changing herself into a new person. Kogarashi watches carefully from the rooftop. He promises himself to make her day perfect. After classes end, Nika heads to the school gym. She stands quietly, thinking again about the person who wrote the letter. Suddenly, someone speaks behind her, but the voice belongs to a girl, not a boy. Naka feels confused, but the girl quickly explains that she wrote the letter herself. Naka panics and tries to run away. However, Kogarashi appears, blocking her escape. He holds a remote control and presses a button. The floor opens beneath their feet, and both girls fall into a secret room. Inside the room, there is a large bed. Kogarashi appears above the floor and calmly tells Naka he arranged everything. He encourages her to enjoy her time there and leaves. The other girl leaps on Nika. Later that evening, Nika returns home, angry and holding her katana. She calls loudly for Kogarashi and starts attacking him immediately. Nika sits at her desk and tries to focus on her studies. Far away, a mysterious young girl watches her with a serious face. A silent servant stands beside her. The girl stares at Nika's juicy melons and looks annoyed. She begins to doubt if her target is really worth the effort. Back at the house, Nika finishes her work and decides to rest. The quiet moment does not last. Fubuki senses that something strange is happening nearby. She looks around carefully. Signs of trouble appear. There are intruders close to the house. Naka feels uneasy, but Fubuki remains calm. She knows exactly who will protect them. At that same moment, the burglars are inside and heading straight toward the girl's underwear. Suddenly, sharp spears rise from the floor. They block the thieves and trap them in place. Out of the shadows, Kogarashi steps forward. His face looks cold. His movements are fast and brutal. The thieves cannot fight back. Soon, the captured men speak. They act proud and try to explain that their mission is noble. Their words only make Naka angrier. Kogarashi prepares to call the police, but the thieves beg for mercy. One of them says that a woman as beautiful as her should not treat them so harshly. Nika seems touched by the comment, but then freezes. The man is actually looking at Fubuki. Nika becomes furious. Her face turns red. She lets out an angry shout. In the confusion, two of the thieves grab Naka and Kasuke to hold them still. The third man escapes from the ropes and runs away. He takes something with him as he disappears into the distance. Kogarashi is ordered to chase after him without delay. The man finally stops to catch his breath and checks his prize. His face shows pure disappointment. What he holds are not Fubuki's panties, but instead a plain pair that belongs to the Kendo girl. He begins to complain out loud. At that moment, the young noble girl appears in front of him. Her outfit looks like something from a magical girl show. Without warning, she strikes the man directly between the legs using her pink umbrella. He falls to the ground with no strength left. Kogarashi arrives shortly after but finds only the unconscious body of the burglar. The stolen panties are nowhere to be seen. Back at the house, Fubuki gently covers both Naka and Kasuke with blankets. Kogarashi stands nearby and gives his report. It seems that a third person took the stolen item before he arrived. Fubuki becomes serious. She gives a direct order to capture this new suspect without fail. Kogarashi does not waste the moment. He activates his Maid Guy X-ray vision. His eyes scan everything without shame. Fubuki is caught off guard and gives him an accidental view that would count as fan service. The punishment comes quickly. A sharp needle flies through the air and strikes Kogarashi in the face. Still determined, he continues his mission. During his search, he runs into the man who delivers fish to the area. Without asking too many questions, he uses hypnosis to make the man speak clearly. The man recalls that after the panty thief ran past him, he saw a shadow in the distance. He also noticed a young girl wearing a short skirt. The girl had strawberry-patterned underwear. The information sounds unclear, but not for Kogarashi. His mind connects the clues without doubt. He jumps from rooftop to rooftop and gives an update to Fubuki through his communicator. A new transfer student arrives in Class C. Her name is Elizabeth K. Strawberryfield, though she asks to be called Liz. She presents herself as a foreign genius student who has come to Japan for overseas education. Her speech is polite and confident. She walks toward her seat, but then her behavior suddenly changes. She begins to act like a huge fan of Naka. Her voice becomes high and cheerful. The classroom becomes noisy with whispers. Then, without warning, her sweet tone turns sharp. She insults Naka directly and even throws her shoe at her face. Liz quickly becomes known as the small girl who can cause big trouble. A few students, including Kaio, seem to find her entertaining. After this moment, Liz challenges Naka to a kendo match. Her voice is serious and filled with pride. As she walks out of the classroom, she shares her excitement about her future win with her maid, Shizuka. Her eyes sparkle with confidence. At the same time, Kogarashi hides nearby like a professional spy. He moves silently and watches everything like a red and blue costumed hero from a comic book. His real goal is to find the thief who wears strawberry-patterned underwear. The school rules prevent him from using his X-ray vision, so he decides to rely on his own hands. Without anyone noticing, he starts to secretly check the underwear of every girl he passes. His speed and technique are unmatched. Fubuki soon finds him and demands to know what he is doing. He calmly explains that he is looking for the thief. His answer shocks her. She presses a large red button with force. A powerful explosion sends him flying. His intentions are ignored once again. Naka enters the Kendo club room and prepares for her training. Liz is already there, waiting. Naka still cannot take her seriously, believing her small size means she is weak. But Liz has strong arguments. She reveals secret photos of Nika that are embarrassing. The male Kendo members and a female admirer stare at the pictures with great interest. Naka feels pressure and agrees to fight. Her pride does not allow her to walk away quietly. She wants to prove herself. From the top of a nearby tree, Kogarashi watches the situation. He speaks through his communicator to update Fubuki. Fubuki tries to gather information, but her system shows interference. This suggests that Rizz might be more than she seems. Suddenly, sharp kunai knives fly toward Kogarashi. He dodges but is forced to land on the ground. A new figure appears. It is Shizuka, the kunoichi maid. She laughs coldly. Her stance shows that she is not here for friendly talk or tea. Inside the Kendo room, the match between Naka and Rizz is about to begin. Naka shows a strange smile, full of mischief. Rizz steps forward with confidence and puts on her helmet. The moment it touches her head, her face twists with discomfort. She falls to the ground right away. The helmet smells horrible, and she cannot take it. Naka takes this chance to land a quick strike to the head, yelling out the attack. Her move is clearly unfair, but she acts like nothing is wrong. Rizz quickly recovers and responds with a sneaky plan. She throws several embarrassing photos of Naka into the air. The images fly like confetti. Right away, a crowd of boys rushes toward the scene. The usual Kendo trio and a certain girl with Yuri obsession are part of the group. Naka turns red and tries to stop them, but is too late. In the confusion, Rizz lands a body strike with perfect timing. Naka Dynamosphere turns tense. Both girls prepare for a final round to end the match. Outside, a different kind of battle begins. Shizuka throws a set of kunai with fast speed. Kogarashi stands firm and knocks them aside with only his hands. Her attack does not bother him at all. She quickly jumps away and runs toward the rooftop. Small bombs fall behind her as she moves. Just before they explode, Kogarashi lands right on them. The blast covers the area in smoke. He walks through the smoke without a single scratch. Shizuka hides and keeps talking from a secret spot. She sounds proud and playful, but she underestimates him. Kogarashi begins scanning the rooftop like a powerful machine. His steps are slow and strong. He soon locates the hiding spot behind the water tank. He kicks the door open. Shizuka does not expect it and stands frozen. Kogarashi scans her with his special ability and speaks calmly about her exact body measurements. Shizuka becomes furious. She throws more kunai in large numbers. Kogarashi stops them again, just as easily as before. Kogarashi silently takes her white underwear without her even feeling it. But he is not satisfied. She is not the one he is looking for. He walks away and tosses the item back to her, still without saying much. Shizuka stands frozen for a moment, then shouts her promise for revenge. At the same time, Kogarashi picks up a signal. There is new trouble near Naka. Back in the Kendo room, the third round begins. Both girls look serious. Rizz suddenly pulls out another trick. She holds a large pack of Naka's stolen underwear and throws it high into the air. The move causes chaos. The other students go wild again. Naka cannot believe what is happening. Then, the door bursts open. Kogarashi steps in with his usual power. His eyes glow with energy. He begins to shout. His voice calls out like a master of wild creatures. A huge flock of crows flies through the windows and fills the room. They grab every piece of underwear in sight. Rizz and Naka are both included in the raid. The birds move with perfect aim. Rizz stands helpless. Her face turns red, and she cries out strange words in broken English. Naka also feels embarrassed and confused. She asks why she is being targeted too. Kogarashi explains that the order was to collect her belongings, and that includes everything. He suggests she should just remove her clothes, which only makes her angrier. He then gives an update through his communicator. His next move is to examine the suspicious one, Rizz. She now stands without defense. Before he can act, Fubuki slams the emergency button again. Another explosion follows. Her reaction comes too late. The panties Kogarashi recovers are no longer identifiable. Later that day, Kuzuka is seen talking with a man who looks suspicious. Somewhere else, Rizz and Shizuka sit together, already planning their next scheme against Naka and the maid guy. Back at home, Kogarashi notices that more underwear has gone missing. Naka and Fubuki look around and begin to suspect another theft has taken place. Not long after, Kusuke returns home carrying 2 large bags. His face shows exhaustion. He mentions spending 70,000 yen. Everyone in the room stares at him in shock. Kogarashi activates his X-ray vision without hesitation. He soon discovers the truth. Kusuke sold Naka's underwear to collect enough money for adult video games worth 70,000 yen. Rizz relaxes in an outdoor bath. Steam rises around her. Suddenly, a group of crows bursts out from the water. She wakes up in fear and sits up quickly. It turns out to be only a dream. Sadly for her, the shock causes her to wet herself in the bath. From the ceiling, Shizuka hangs upside down and watches. Her face shows deep concern. She cannot believe Rizz still has this problem at her age. In the next moment, she is sent flying into a nearby wall. Another maid has entered. Her name is Shirara. She moves with strength and confidence. Shirara and Shizuka are actually twins. Even so, their personalities are nothing alike. Rizz cannot believe Shirara is already 21 years old. The older maid begins teasing Rizz in a mocking way. Her tone is calm, but her words cut deep. After the tension settles, Shirara asks about the progress on spying on the enemy. Shizuka looks down. She has made no real progress. Shirara becomes frustrated. She explains that a person cannot fight well without knowing who they are facing. The next day, Rizz loses her temper at school. She tries to go after Naka again. However, Tsurara has given her strict orders. Liz is not allowed to act. She grits her teeth and holds back. That night, a certain girl sits in her room with great excitement. She is the stalker who follows Naka. She looks through photos she has taken secretly. A small camera has been set up to see inside Naka's bathroom window. The girl turns on the live feed and smiles. She starts to talk to herself about Nika's soft skin. Then, the screen suddenly breaks into static. A strange voice comes through the speaker. It is Kogarashi's voice. His special maid guy voice causes her to freeze in place. Her muscles do not respond. He then begins another trick. He hypnotizes her so that the screen now shows a naked man in the bath. Her eyes stay locked and she cannot look away. Far away at home, Kogarashi hears her scream. It is loud and painful. He smiles, feeling proud of his success. He explains that every hidden camera placed near the house has already been bugged by him. Nothing escapes his control. He then puts a special disc into the DVD player. The screen lights up. Fubuki walks into the room dressed in Naka's school uniform. Naka blushes and gives her a small compliment. The video on the screen then shows Fubuki saying the uniform feels too loose. Everyone understands what that means. Kogarashi immediately collapses from a strong emotional blow. Fubuki speaks to Kogarashi with a serious tone. She reminds him that people have the right to privacy. She tells him never to let their personal information be exposed. At the enemy base, Shizuka returns with a proud look on her face. She brings the disc from the hidden cameras. She places it into the video player. The screen flickers for a moment. Kogarashi's trap activates. A hidden virus takes control and starts to hypnotize the girls. Shirara tries to laugh it off. She believes that hypnosis has no effect. However, her voice grows weak. It turns out that she is falling under the spell too. In the end, Shizuka is left alone to suffer while her elder sister sits frozen beside her. The next day at school, the usual trio of perverted boys hides near the gym. They watch Nika practice her Kendo moves. Their plan is bold and foolish. They want to sneak into the girls' changing room to steal all of Nika's clothes. Before they act, the stalker girl steals the key and runs off alone. She reaches the locker room quickly, but Kogarashi is already there. He hides in silence and waits for the right moment. When she steps forward, he freezes her in place with his special skill. He checks her body for any signs of threat. Once he sees that she is just a regular girl, he decides not to harm her. He leaves her frozen where she stands. Soon after, the three boys enter the room and find her in a strange, unmoving position. Near the school gates, Tsurara sneaks in under disguise. Her efforts to appear young and innocent do not work very well. She steps into the Kendo dojo and says she wants to observe the training. Naka becomes suspicious and asks her a simple question about her zodiac sign. Tsurara takes too long to answer. Naka slides the door closed without hesitation. Behind the door, Naka whispers to the others that the woman outside must be over 20 years old. These words stir Tsurara's anger. Shizuka follows the trail and finds the locker room. Hearing a strange voice, she throws a bomb inside. Smoke and noise fill the air. When she enters, she finds the pervert trio and stalker girl completely frozen. She opens one of the lockers but walks straight into Kogarashi's trap. He tries to freeze her in place too, but Tsurara appears and pulls her out just in time. Tsurara declares revenge with full force. She throws a grenade that sends Kogarashi flying through the wall. She throws more, but they do little damage. She explains that her plan is to remove all of his senses and then make him suffer. Chains appear and bind Kogarashi. However, he breaks free without effort. His hair moves on its own and wraps around Tsurara, lifting her off the ground. At the same time, the stalker girl wakes up. She sees the boys nearby and takes out her frustration on them with loud screams and fast punches. Tsurara struggles in the grasp of Kogarashi. She tries to laugh and says he cannot fight anymore because she has removed 3 of his 5 senses. Kogarashi corrects her. He tells her that he actually has 37 senses and only 3 are missing. She finds that hard to believe but cannot fight back. To save her sister, Shizuka throws the stalker girl into the scene. In the confusion, she cuts the chains and frees Tsurara. Kogarashi assures the stalker girl that he will not harm her. But Naka misunderstands and hits him again. She regrets it soon, because the stalker girl jumps on her once more. Back at the base, Tsurara gets angry after Shizuka calls her old. She knocks out Shizuka with one strong blow. Liz walks into the room and looks shocked after seeing Tsurara in that odd outfit. She begins to wonder if Tsurara is already reaching the stage of midlife crisis. It is a calm morning in the Fujiwara household. Fubuki, the composed and serious maid, begins her duties before anyone else wakes up. She quietly reflects on the strict maid coded to wake up before the master, sleep only after the master, and to serve with complete dedication. Just when she goes to sort laundry, Kogarashi tells her that he already carried out her tasks like sorting laundry. And he is already able to tell the difference between materials just by touch. He even notes the drying time and the way garments leave marks on the body. Kogarashi brags that he knows understand every detail. Frustrated at his nonsense, Fubuki hits him and tells him that from now on he better behave and not touch anyone's private things. Later in the day, the group goes to shopping. They proudly carry home crab bought on discount. Fuki appears to be under the weather, and when asked, she quietly says she caught a cold. She adds that she dealt with a certain beast in the bathroom, hinting at Kogarashi. On the way back, Kusuke brags that they are walking through town with a beautiful maid. He feels proud and imagines others looking on with jealousy. Dinner plans begin with crab being the highlight. Naka dreams of several crab dishes and grows excited. Kusuke, her brother, teases her about eating too much, reminding her she ate his cake. Naka quickly justifies it by saying she burns calories through club activities. They enter an elevator, and when Naka is about to enter, the elevator beeps and the staff girl tells her to step outside. This makes Naka panic about her weight. Back at home, Naka suddenly announces a household-wide diet. Everyone must join and no end date is given. The goal is to help her stay on track. This declaration surprises the others, especially since they just bought crabs. The meal plan is replaced with salads. Even Kogarashi and Fubuki are dragged into the challenge. The group begins a weigh-in. Kusuke steps up first and sees he weighs more than expected. Kogarashi refuses to take part, calling the idea ridiculous, but shows off his maid guy levitation skill, tricking the scale into reading 0. Fubuki steps up next and quietly gets a fake result. Kogarashi exposes the trick, pointing to a hidden needle preventing the scale from moving. Fubuki tries to explain that her maid outfit hides many tools, and that her actual weight must be lower. Kogarashi uses a scan to expose her true weight and begins mocking both her and Nika for having soft, saggy weight on their juicy melons. He proposes using his vibrating claw to compress and evaporate the extra fat, offering instant slimming. Both women panic and quickly reject his help. The group begins their extreme weight loss journey. Nika starts sweating in the sauna and believes she is already lighter. Fubuki provides a bitter metabolic tablet, which she claims will speed up the process. Naka overeats the pills, believing more will work faster. Soon she feels dizzy and collapses. Failed but still determined to lose weight, Naka then pushes the group toward a more extreme route, fasting. She declares that she is willing to give up food entirely until she loses weight. She speaks with the fire of someone possessed. Fubuki also joins the plan, feeling insulted by being called a flabby maid. Determined to succeed, Naka and Fubuki request to be locked in a room to avoid temptation. Kogarashi obliges without hesitation. After several days, both women become delusional. Kogarashi uses a strange illusion to convince them that their weight has decreased but their melons are shrinking. They panic, and the hallucinations become worse. They imagine horrible transformations. Kogarashi finally decides they've gone too far. He breaks the illusion and forces everyone to stop. He declares that health must come before appearance. Just when things seem calm, Fubuki collapses from her cold. Kogarashi offers to heal her using some pervert technique, but she refuses. Instead, Fubuki tells him to go and fetch a certain kind of moss plant that she will use to prepare her cold medicine. Meanwhile, Naka feels guilty and blames herself for dragging Fubuki into the diet. She remembers her childhood dream of becoming a nurse, wanting to take care of her mother who was always sick. Naka prepares medicine for Fubuki. Her recipe includes beer, sugar, and mysterious ingredients. Kusuke explains that Naka once had strong feelings about nursing but never developed the skills. Despite the strange medicine, her intent is pure. The condition of Fubuki keeps worsening, but Naka is not stopping. She has got an experimental frog in Fubuki. Fubuki plans with Kusuke and pretends in front of Nika that she's recovered so that she stops experimenting on her. Meanwhile, Kogarashi has gone to Miti Fuji in search of the rare moss known for its healing power. He climbs the mountain without trouble, grabs the moss, and returns quickly. Fubuki prepares the medicine and feels better after having it. She begins to reflect on the meaning of health and loyalty. Kogarashi teases that he might have confused the moss. Instead of the rare plant, he likely used normal moss from behind the house. The supposed miracle cure was probably nothing more than backyard greenery. Fubuki, overwhelmed by everything, faints again. Nika gets excited that she can now treat Fubuki again. The girls of the Shuao Saiha Private Academy Kendo Club are preparing for a major tournament. The team is having a post-practice bath. Everyone looks forward to victory. Suddenly, Nika expresses a desire to quit the competition. Her teammates are shocked. They shout at her, accusing her of cowardice. They say the tournament decides the club's next year's budget. They blame her for only caring for herself. Nika says her reason is personal and serious. She tells them that someone who has a grudge against her is returned from the mountains. Her name is Arayashiki Yoshi. Stories about her describe a girl once hit by bullets meant for a beer and now known as a monster in the world of women's kendo. Arayashiki vanished 3 years ago after an incident at the national tournament. She was known as rising star, and now she is returning, and Naka has a personal history with her. Naka remembers the match they had in the last tournament. Arashiki appeared strong, terrifying, and rude. Naka insulted her appearance and got into a fight before the match even began. During the battle, Arashiki lost because her underwear slipped, causing a violation, and therefore she was disqualified. Everyone laughed at her that time. People even clicked photos. She blamed Naka and swore revenge. Now she plans to defeat Naka in front of a crowd and throw her Nate into the seats. Therefore, Naka is in a panic mode. She tells her friends that even video cameras are selling out fast and ticket prices have risen. Everyone, including perverts and classmates, wants to see her naked. The schoolmates plead with Nika to fight. They want the club to win so they can train in Okinawa. She tries to say no, but they push harder. She also wants to go to Okinawa, so in the end, she feels forced to accept. Later, Nika daydreams while in the bath. She sees a vision of warriors and questions her courage. Kogarashi appears in the illusion and reminds her of the reason she began this journey. She wanted to be strong, brave, and honorable. Her spirit lifts. She understands that winning is not everything. Facing the challenge matters more. Nika wakes up to find herself a temple deep in the Kyoto Mountains. Fubuki explains that Kogarashi brought her inside a bag, and it was Fubuki who changed her into a Kendo uniform. The training will take place here at Mikuramiyama, a place known for its spiritual energy. It is said to be the mountain where great warriors once trained. This sacred location increases one's strength. Nika begins her training right away, full of energy and determination. Her first task is to defeat a bear. She runs toward a bear, thinking she can defeat it with her bamboo sword. The bear throws her back with ease. Kogarashi rewards her effort with a Maid guy badge. He explains that collecting 10 badges will complete her training. Each badge comes after a new challenge. Her next task is to practice under a waterfall. She is standing with Kogarashi and suddenly slips into the water without waiting for instructions. Kogarashi thinks she dived into the water for training. Anyhow, the training continues, and after a full week, Nika is able to cut a leaf along with the water with her bamboo sword. She has collected 9 coins so far, and now it is time for her final test. She has to slash through a giant log. She tries using her bamboo sword, but the log is too heavy to be cut by a bamboo sword, and instead she goes down. Kogarashi saves her at the last moment. He gives her the final coin and announces that she is ready. The next day, the tournament begins. Nika steps onto the floor with calm determination. Her movements are strong and confident. Commentators praise her technique. Her name spreads quickly through the excited crowd. People tear. Cameras zoom in, and the final match draws near. Her final opponent is none other than Arashiki, whose presence alone shakes the arena. Her years of isolated mountain training, combined with a mysterious pit viper energy drink, have given her immense power. She walks in with a clear goal to humiliate Nika in front of everyone. Nika is steady. She reflects back to the days spent training in the mountains. Her friends cheer for her. The crowd leans in, holding its breath as the match begins. Arashiki charges with terrifying speed, but Nika responds with sharp defense. Her body moves instinctively, shaped by days of hard practice and challenge. Each strike from Arashiki pushes Nika backward, yet she remains focused. The roar of the waterfall from her training echoes in her memory. She recalls the feeling of facing something greater than herself and surviving. Arashiki charges again. Nika closes her eyes for a second, then she sees it, an opening, and she attacks. Her bamboo sword lands cleanly on the torso of Arashiki. The judge signals the point. The stadium bursts into celebration. Kogarashi proudly names it the Monster Slash. But the match is not over. Arashiki collapses onto Nika, sending them both to the ground. Nika loses consciousness. Arashiki rises again and begins walking toward Nika, intent on tearing off her uniform. Kogarashi steps in immediately. He blocks her path and uses his illusion technique. Confused, she begins to see Nika and everyone in the audience. Driven by her obsession, she starts ripping off their clothes. The judges witness the chaos, and her actions are ruled a violent disturbance. She is disqualified on the spot. Victory belongs to Nika. The Kendo club erupts with joy. They are going to the national tournament. Teammates cheer and hug each other. The perverts in the crowd wail in disappointment. Their hopes of seeing Naka humiliated vanish. Later, the team enjoys the sunny beaches of Okinawa. Their training camp feels more like a vacation. They laugh, relax, and talk about buying a souvenir for Nika to thank her. After all, this trip is only possible because of her efforts. Back home, Nika lies in a hospital bed, covered in bandages. Kogarashi stands beside her with a rare expression of approval. He hands her an extra Maid guy badge. It is a small reward for a well-fought battle and a symbol of her courage, growth, and victory. Nika receives an unexpected marriage proposal from a foreigner named Hendrik. He is handsome but speaks with a strange accent. At first, he shows great interest in Nika, but everything changes the moment he sees Fubuki. This man seems obsessed with big, juicy melons. It turns out that Hendrik is actually Lizz's older brother. Liz suddenly arrives on horseback wearing a ridiculous disguise and calls herself Strawberry Mask. Her identity is obvious to everyone, but she confidently scoops up her foolish brother and rides off. Meanwhile, Kogarashi continues calling Fubuki the clumsy maid, a title she finds difficult to shake. Things take a strange turn at school. Naka's regular homeroom teacher goes on maternity leave, and Hendrik becomes the new substitute. He carries a strange charm that causes every girl who meets his eyes to fall for him. This power makes him dangerous, not just awkward. Later, Liz meets Nika, Iko, and Miwa and shares more about her brother's background. She believes Nika is using her juicy melons to manipulate her brother's feelings. Iko makes an accurate guess. Liz likely has a brother complex. It turns out that Liz often claimed she would marry marry Hendrik when he grows up. Unfortunately, her own body never developed juicy melons, which fuels her resentment toward girls like Naka. Soon Nika and her friends discover that Hendrik is also the new advisor for the girls' Kendo club. Many members fall under his spell. Hendrik even says he wants Naka to join his personal harem. When she refuses, a challenge is set. Naka and her friends decide to face him in battle. From outside the arena, Rizz watches the scene closely. Hooded Kogarashi appears beside her and quietly offers support. He gives her a strange secret weapon, a mysterious tool that could help defeat Hendrik and open his eyes. The match begins. Iko and Miwa are the first to fight, but they lose quickly. They avoid eye contact with Hendrik, but it does not help. The team places all their hopes on Nika. A strategy is formed. To confuse Hendrik, Naka must fight without wearing a bra. The idea is that he will become too distracted to fight properly. The plan works, but Naka feels deeply embarrassed. Hendrik quickly notices the flaw. Naka begins to sweat during the battle, and her shirt grows more transparent. Fighting with one arm trying to cover her juicy melons becomes difficult. Hendrik prepares for the final strike. Strawberry Mask rushes in at the last moment. She joins the battle, now clearly appearing more busty than before. Rizz sets the terms. If Hendrik can land a hit on either of them, he wins and can claim juicy melons of Naka. Hendrik agrees and continues his attack with more confidence. The two girls find themselves cornered. Then Rizz remembers Kogarashi's advice. She reaches behind and pulls a string. The secret weapon is revealed, a special bra that inflates dramatically. The inflatable bra quickly grows to unbelievable size, stunning Hendrik into pure joy. His eyes widen with delight. The device continues to expand until it emits a blinding light. Hendrik stumbles back in shock. Kogarashi calls this tool the sure kill no bra blinding strategy. Hendrik is temporarily blinded by the glowing bra. She prepares to seize her chance. Before she lands the final blow, Hendrik catches one last glimpse of her juicy melons. He freezes, completely distracted. He cannot defeat him. Naka defeats him, and the other girls fall out of his trance. Defeated and dazed, Hendrik is taken away on a stretcher. The spell is broken. The girls regain control of themselves, and the reputation of Nika is saved. Back at home, Nika finally learns that Kogarashi has been tampering with her underwear. Each piece is secretly packed with hidden weapons and defense tools. Furious, she throws a pair at him. The underwear explodes on impact. Naka Fujiwara spends time with her friends Eiko and Miwa after school. They seem worried about something. Eiko and Miwa explain their problem to Naka. They work part-time at a small cake shop called Deerlanger. Their shop faces big trouble because of a new rival business. This rival is a maid cafe with popular waitresses. Eiko and Miwa tell Naka their cake shop might close soon. Customers prefer the new maid cafe, even though its cakes taste bad. The rival shop uses a special trick to attract people. All its waitresses have very large melons. Eiko and Miwa call this dethal service because the women use their bodies to hide the bad food. The two friends need help to save their workplace. They ask Nika and her maid Fubuki for assistance. Eiko and Miwa have a plan to discover the rival's secret. They want Nika and Fubuki to join the maid cafe as waitresses. Nika and Fubuki both have large melons too. They can fit in with the other waitresses there. The friends hope they can find why the cafe is so popular despite bad cakes. Nika agrees to help her worried friends. She feels sorry for their difficult situation. Fubuki feels hesitant. The rival cafe has a very revealing uniform. It shows much more skin with low necklines. The group goes to the rival maid cafe. Both Naka and Fubuki easily get the job. It is their first day at work. Naka the special cafe uniform. She turns to see Fubuki but notices that she left. Inside the cafe, all the waitresses have large melons like Naka and Fubuki. The cafe looks boozy and popular. Nika notices the customers seem more interested in the large juicy melons of waitresses than the food. While serving, Nika tastes the desserts. The cakes are of very poor quality. They are dry, not sweet enough, and badly made. Nika understands why her friends worry now. The cafe uses the waitresses' bodies to distract people from the terrible food. This unfair trick makes honest businesses suffer. Nika sends a text to her friends with this new information. Eiko and Miwa feel shocked but also understand the rival's weakness now. Their cake shop can win customers back with real quality. Kogarashi appears to help with the situation. Eiko and Miwa ask him to bake special cakes for their shop. Kogarashi has amazing cooking skills and is all out to help them fight against the rival cafe. Kogarashi works hard in the kitchen at Deerlanger. Each dessert he creates holds perfect balance and taste. The smell alone pulls in the crowd. He uses his maid guy trapping voice to draw more men to the shop. The sound wraps around their minds and they walk in like moths to fire. Customers try cakes with strange names. Some even eat the scorpion chocolate cake and call it delicious. The flow of customers grows quickly. The manager of the rival cafe notices the shift and gathers her staff for an emergency meeting. She says their shop's true attraction is not the cake, but the server's juicy melons. The desserts only act as bait. The manager then turns to Nika. She wants to teach her how to use her juicy melons for appeal. The training fails and Nika is pulled off the service floor. Fubuki enters Deerlanger dressed in a long trench coat. She tries to stay unnoticed among the busy crowd. The shop is full and business continues to boom. Customers enjoy the sweet scent of cake and the attention of the servers. Nika visits the cafe and finds Kogarashi in the middle of another strange recipe. He is even carrying a panda. Suddenly the rival cafe manager storms in. She demands 3 full sets of cake to sample. Before tasting, she mocks Eiko and Miwa, calling their juicy melons minimum size and palm size. Her words hit hard. Eiko and Miwa freeze in shock. The The manager tastes the crab cake next. Her face turns sour. She loudly claims the cake is fake and demands the head patissier. Kogarashi steps forward. She threatens to expose his true identity by removing his mask. Kogarashi says the masks exist on both sides. Then, without warning, he punctures the manager's juicy melons. Air hisses out, and her boobs shrink instantly. It becomes clear she has been wearing fake padding all along. The staff gasps in disbelief. They shout at their manager for lying. She fires back with more insults. She blames their big boobies for taking nutrients away from their brains. The cafe turns noisy with arguments. Iko and Miu act fast. They step up and announce a bold new offer. Any customer who buys cake may get a chance to see Naka's real juicy melons. The reaction is immediate. The perverted customers, including the well-known Naka's Juicy Melon fan club, rush to the counter. Some order 10 sets. Others buy 20 or 30. One even ordered 260 sets. Kogarashi looks around and spots Fubuki hiding. He calls her forward. Fubuki realizes she cannot hide any longer. She takes off the trench coat and puts on a maid uniform. She joins the others and begins serving the eager customers. Later, Iko and Miwa sit down for a short break. Everyone feels tired but satisfied. Then, Naka makes an offhand comment about their small boobs. Iko and Miwa freeze again. Naka Fujiwara is struggling with math and has an important test coming up. Kogarashi suggests they visit a local shrine known to grant wishes to those who please its resident god. Naka agrees, and they all head to the shrine with Kogarashi, her little brother Kyosuke, and their maid Fubuki. At the shrine, a young priestess named Miko greets them. This priestess can communicate directly with the shrine's god. She immediately reveals embarrassing secrets about the guest's key. Osuke is secretly wondering about her underwear. She even admits she isn't wearing any, and Fubuki tends to strip off her clothes when she's drunk. Miko then declares that only women may enter the inner sanctuary. Thus, Kogarashi and Kyosuke must wait outside while Nika and Fubuki continue inside. Inside, Nika and Fubuki meet two other visitors, Rizz and Arashiki. Rizz is here to cure her fear of crowds, and Arashiki wants the Gulp to defeat Nika in competition. Miko then conveys the god's decision. All four women must compete in a doubles tennis match on the shrine grounds. Whichever pair wins this bizarre match will have their wishes granted. None of them expected to end up playing tennis at a shrine, but Naka and Fubuki have no choice but to accept this challenge. Naka and Fubuki face off as Rizz and Arashiki in a chaotic tennis match arranged by the shrine's mischievous deity. The impromptu tennis game begins with Naka and Fubuki on one team against Rizz and Arashiki on the other. At the start of the match, the god imposes a strange handicap. Fubuki refuses to wear the skimpy tennis mini-skirt uniform and is too embarrassing, so the god penalizes her team by giving the opponents a one-set advantage from the start. This absurd rule makes it clear the god is quite perverted. Even so, the match proceeds. Naka and Fubuki do their best and manage to win points despite the handicap. Naka and Fubuki start to catch up. Rizz responds by cheating. She has Arashiki toss random objects onto Naka's side of the court to block their shots. The god finds this full play amusing and allows it. Fubuki starts feeling discouraged and blames herself for their troubles. Naka tries to cheer her up but only insults her by calling her a clumsy maid, which makes Fubuki angry. Kogarashi then uses telepathy from outside to give Nika a secret tip. He hints that the god wanted some lewd show from the maid. In the next rally, Naka flips up Fubuki's skirt, giving the deity a quick peek of Fubuki's panties. The effect is immediate. The god is delighted and instantly rewards Naka's team with a huge 1,000-point bonus, bringing him to match point. Fubuki is mortified by this stunt. She glares at Naka and vows to punish her later for this outrage. Arashiki is stunned and desperate not to lose. She tries to copy the tactic. Arashiki yanks off part of Rizz's outfit to expose some of Rizz's skin, but the god grants their team only a 200-point bonus, just a fraction of Naka's reward. In frustration, Arashiki strips herself completely naked in front of everyone. This outrageous move immediately backfires. The god is not pleased. He halts the match at once and declares Naka and Fubuki the winners. Arashiki is furious and demands to know why her sexy display failed. The answer comes as a lightning bolt from above that strikes her down for her insolence. Miko calmly reminds everyone never to question the absolute will of God. Naka receives the promised prize for winning. Miko hands her a special charm from the god that is supposed to boost her math skills to genius level. Naka's overjoyed. However, when she later examines the charm at home, she discovers a ridiculous catch. The charm only works under certain conditions. The note explains that for each fine play by a maid, one math problem will be solved, and for each super fine play, 10 will be solved. In short, the charm will only help if Fubuki performs a lot of outrageous acts to satisfy the perverted god. Naka gives Fubuki a creepy grin, clearly planning to exploit this. Fubuki gulps nervously. Fubuki has not forgotten being called clumsy. She goes back to the shrine alone to ask for a way to become a more competent maid. At the shrine, Fubuki sees Rizz again, this time. Rizz is wearing a frilly child-sized swimsuit as the gods demanded act to cure her crowphobia. Fubuki is shocked by this sight. Then Miko reveals the condition for Fubuki's own wish to shed her clumsy maid status. Fubuki must wear a set of see-through lingerie to please the god. Fubuki is mortified. She is still determined to change, so she reluctantly puts on the skimpy transparent linear under her clothes. She leaves the shrine red-faced and praying no one will notice. That night at home, Fubuki is extremely self-conscious about the racy lingerie under her uniform. Kogarashi notices immediately. His maid guy X-ray vision reveals what she's wearing. He grins and calls her a decent maid now. Fubuki, red with shame and anger, instantly knocks him out cold with one hit of her spiked club. She then vows never to wear such humiliating attire again. The girls in the Kendo club are running up and down the stairs for training. Members of the Naka's Juicy Melons fan club follow behind, but their reason is different. Their eyes are locked on Naka's bouncing Juicy Melons. The leader of their group runs without watching his steps. His head is too full of admiration. He slips and crashes hard. The injury puts him in the hospital with brain damage. Naka hears the news and feels guilty. She visits him with her friends. The doctor delivers bad news, saying that there is no hope for recovery. Naka leans in closer to the hospital bed, and her juicy melons sway near the leader's face. Suddenly, he wakes up and praises them. Naka responds with a strong punch, but the doctor then explains something strange. Medical science has failed, so she suggests a love shock remedy. It means Naka must go on a date with this perverted patient. Eiko and Miwa make Naka promise not to him during the date. Naka wears a pretty yukata and meets the leader at the festival. Things go calmly at first, but the moment he remembers her name after staring at her juicy melons, she kicks him in the back. Her friends scold her for breaking the promise. Meanwhile, Kogarashi watches from the shadows. He decides to support his master's love life, even if Fubuki disagrees. She tries to stop him with a hit from her club, but he recovers fast and gives her the slip. At the festival, Nika walks with the leader, Eiko, Miwa, and the other two BFM-BFC members hide nearby and observe. Kogarashi spots a toy rifle, grabs it, and uses his Maid guy gun action. The cork from the gun flies at Nika's feet. She trips and falls into the leader's arms. It almost looks romantic until he comments on the softness of her juicy melons. That earns him a sharp elbow to the ribs. Kogarashi prepares another trick. Fubuki finds him ready to hit, but she gets dragged away by twin maids to help at a takoyaki stand. No one knows how she ends up there. Naka later asks the leader if he remembers anything else beyond her juicy melons. He thinks about it and asks if he can touch them to trigger his memory. That answer brings another knockout punch from Naka. Then, Rizz shows up. The two exchange their usual sharp words. Hendrik soon appears too, walking proudly between two foreign women with giant juicy melons. Hendrik shows interest in them right away. Naka reacts fast and hits him with a strong upward kick. The leader watches and then says he still only has eyes for Naka's juicy melons. Her face turns red, her heart races, and her next punishment kick is too soft to count as real. Kogarashi activates his final move of the Maid guy Golden Splash. A goldfish launches straight into Nika's yukata. She cannot remove her clothes in public, so she runs off into the woods. The leader follows, full of concern. Kogarashi watches with hope. Fubuki arrives, angry and dangerous. Her pressure scares Eiko and Miwa into revealing Naka's location. In the forest, the leader searches and finds Naka adjusting her yukata. She looks half undressed and he jumps toward her. But instead of anything naughty, he pulls out a snake and throws it aside. The two sit and talk. The moment feels soft. Naka lowers her guard. Maybe she is giving this pervert a real chance. Then Fubuki storms in and throws a lantern. The hit is so strong it sends the leader flying into a tree. He falls and slips into another coma. Back at the hospital, Fubuki does over him, and her juicy melons sway near his face. The moment they do, he wakes up and begs to see more. Naka is shocked. She thought his love was only for her juicy melons. She gets angry, picks him up and throws him out of the hospital window. A sharp-haired mayor named Wabasuke speaks to a group of ninja maids. He calls for them to unite their strength and grow in power. Back at Naka's house, an invitation arrives. The family is called to celebrate Zenju's 70th birthday at his mansion. Everyone prepares for the visit. On arrival, Kusuke runs up to hug his grandfather, overwhelmed with joy. But the powerful hug from Zenjiro nearly ends him then and there. Soon, Wabasuke makes his entrance. Fubuki and Kogarashi both recognize him. He holds the title of secondary inheritor, though his rank sits at the very bottom of the family line. The mood suddenly shifts. The two maids receive urgent instructions to report to the security room. Inside the room, the head maid reveals something troubling. A cross-star knife was found next to Zenju's bed that morning. She suspects this may relate to the inheritance dispute. Fubuki and Kogarashi agree to protect the grandchildren. They vow to use their true maid strength if needed. At the same time, Rizz and Hendrik arrive at the party. Hendrik wastes no time swooning over women with large, juicy melons. Rizz has enough. She knocks him out in disgust and threatens to leave. Outside, the mansion's security weakens. A ninja maid silently disables several guards. Inside the hall, Naka and Kusuke prepare to present their birthday gifts on stage. Many foreign guests watch. Suddenly, the lights go out. Shizuku drops from the ceiling and throws sleeping gas bombs everywhere. The mansion falls into chaos. On the rooftop, Neika and Kasuke are taken hostage by Shizuku and Shirara. But something is off. One of them suddenly escapes the trap. It's not Kuzuke at all, it's Kogarashi in disguise. He reveals himself and traps the ninja maids in a cage made from his own hair. Before Kogarashi can do more, Haichuka appears with her subordinates. She gives the order to strike. The maid guy fights without mercy. Every enemy falls. But then Haichuka uses a strange whistle. She blows it and Kogarashi's body begins to burst in blood. He crashes to the ground defeated. The whistle crumbles in her hand, a one-time weapon, but highly effective. Fubuki, dressed as Neika, steps forward and confronts the enemy. Her knowledge about their plan reveals her disguise. Shirara realizes they have been tricked. All the information they gathered was fake. Haichuka reacts fast and commands her subordinates to kill the imposter. But Fubuki, already worn out from battle, still shows the power of a master and takes them on. The real Neika and Kasuke lie unconscious, half-dressed in a hidden room. Before the ceremony, Kogarashi and Fubuki had switched places with them. When Neika wakes up, she rushes outside and finds Kogarashi lying motionless. Her heart breaks. She refuses to believe he is gone. Her voice reaches him. Her memories with him rise like a wave. Kogarashi stirs. His eyes open. He rises from death full of life again. Fubuki stands her ground, tired but unshaken. Haichuka and her forces freeze in shock. Kogarashi lifts a boulder and hurls it forward. His body rises off the ground. He unleashes his maid guy homing catapult. Haichuka senses defeat and tries to retreat, but Fubuki blocks her escape. Kogarashi continues his wild attack. The wind turns violent. He summons a typhoon so strong that it pulls Fubuki and the ninja maids into the sky. Haichuka escapes at the last second. She returns to Wabasuke and apologizes for her failure. Wabasuke does not look upset. Instead, he says the real fight has only just begun. Back at the mansion, the storm sets. The building lies in ruins. Zenjiro and the guests wake up surrounded by the damage. Several unmasked maid guys appear from the shadows. The secrets of the family grow deeper. The next day, Neika returns to her peaceful life. She greets Eiko and Miwa with a smile. But the FBFC members are still obsessed with the juicy melons. Neika has no patience and slices them down with her wooden sword. Saki, as usual, seems to enjoy the chaos. Fubuki speaks with Zenjiro. She assures him that she and Kogarashi will protect Neika and Kasuke with everything they have. Zenjiro trusts her. Kogarashi proudly declares that he will keep serving Naka with the highest quality support, whether she likes it or not. That is the way of the maid guy. And that is it for today. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button and drop your thoughts in the comments. Until next time.